Outside this heavy mahogany door, a line of anxious professionals waits, desperate for a chance to work for the founder. Yet the man sitting inside that executive suite began his life with absolutely nothing. His childhood was defined by completely empty pockets and shoes worn straight through to the ground. We tend to assume corporate empires require a massive injection of early capital, but sometimes immense wealth is constructed entirely out of a total resource vacuum. This was Kabir's reality. Growing up in an isolated village, he carried a torn school bag, routinely went to sleep starving, and watched his parents slowly deteriorate under the crushing weight of manual farm labor. But beneath that severe physical deprivation existed an intense internal drive. Kabir intended to single-handedly rewrite his family's generational trajectory. The local villagers found this ambition ridiculous. They openly laughed at him, insisting that a boy with nothing should lower his gaze and focus exclusively on securing his next meal. This is the true psychological trap of severe poverty. The constant deficit of basic resources conditions the mind to abandon long-term visionary planning and operate strictly on immediate survival instincts. The shift in Kabir's trajectory occurred during his lowest point, sitting defeated by a local river, where he encountered an old, perceptive teacher named Guruji. Guruji handed the boy a small mirror and instructed him to look closely at his own reflection, forcing Kabir to acknowledge the deep exhaustion and pain staring back at him. Then the teacher asked him to look deeper. Past the superficial exhaustion, Kabir had to recognize the intense, suppressed fire of belief still burning inside his own eyes. Guruji used this image to explain his philosophy. Your internal potential is a reflective surface, but external societal doubt acts as gray dust obscuring your vision. To fight this, take disciplined action to actively wipe away that psychological dust, forcing your core belief back into the open. Fierce self-belief isn't an epiphany you have once and keep forever. It is a rigorous daily maintenance task required to hold off the constant pressure of societal conditioning. But internal conviction alone cannot generate wealth. It requires a brutal, systematic execution strategy to translate that belief into reality. Kabir built a multi-tiered routine. During the day, he attended formal schooling. By evening, he secured his basic survival by washing glasses and serving customers at a local tea shop. For his third pillar, he eliminated his weekends entirely. He offered himself as free labor to a local mechanic, trading his time and sweat for the direct acquisition of technical repair skills. Finally, he sacrificed his sleep. Late into the night, sitting under a single dim bulb, he studied relentlessly, driven entirely by the mental framework he established at the river. Kabir possessed no inherent generational genius. His ultimate advantage was simply the asymmetric, ruthless allocation of every single waking hour toward his long-term goal. That time investment eventually yielded hard capital. By carefully hoarding the tiny margins from his odd jobs, he financed a singular micro-mobile repair corner in his village. This diagram demonstrates his compounding loop. By taking every rupee of profit and routing it completely back into the operation, his single corner evolved into 3 storefronts. Using component failure data, he sourced higher quality manufacturing to produce his own line of accessories. The constant cycle of reinvestment eventually pushed his business past the limits of a local economy. He had traded the physical labor of single repairs for the scale of mass distribution. Those desperate professionals waiting outside his office today, they are the exact same villagers who once mocked his dreams. The wealth also secured his original objective. His mother now receives top-tier regular medical care, and his aging father has been permanently retired from the harsh labor of the fields. Kabir's journey shows that physical resources follow vision. The massive offices and the bank accounts are the trailing indicators of a mind that refused to be limited by its surroundings. Years later, welcoming Guruji into a corporate office, the lesson came full circle. The world will always attempt to force those without resources to think small, making expansive ambition the only reliable mechanism to rewrite your own destiny. If you can identify even a small spark of ambition within yourself right now, your primary job is to guard it aggressively against external interference and doubt. Think of someone in your life whose mirror is currently covered in dust, someone who needs the courage to see their own potential clearly, and share this story with them, because the next chapter of your own success begins the exact second you finally give yourself permission to think big. Start today.